Don't try to add to Weird and Wonderful. Afternoon headline sponsored by Ram Trucks, unless you're positive. Built to serve. 2 reports about Bronny James. Number 1, he's staying in the draft, which we expected. Number 2, he's had over 10 workout invites, but it said thanks but no thanks. Declined several, Brew. Did say okay to the Lake Show in the Suns. What is your reaction to all this news?
Well, with the declines, and like you said, it was talked about as if he might only go to the Lakers and Suns. We don't know that that's the case, but when I look at that, I think he's getting drafted by the Lakers at 55, all right? And I think that's kind of understood within the clutch camp and all that. So that's why I think you look at the Lakers. The Suns now, there's talk about their owner, Matt Ishbia, drafting Bronny in the first round. That's guaranteed money. And draft him in the first round in hopes of getting LeBron. Now, having dealt with Clutch and LeBron and Rich Paul over many years of free agency and things like that, I don't think, could be wrong, but I don't think LeBron and Rich Paul will give Ishbia any indication of what drafting Bronny might do. Like, if you're Matt Ishbia, you got to find out. If this is really what you're thinking, you got to find out from Rich Paul.
Can they do that? Financially, or does LeBron still have to take that?
He'd have to play for the minimum.
Yeah. Oh, gee whiz.
All right, but
love my son, but
if you're LeBron, and I don't think he would do it, but if you are LeBron and everybody knows you want to play with your son, it does give you a way to go to Phoenix, which has obviously a lot of talent, and people just look at it like, man, he wants to play with his son. And so okay. I don't.
I mean,
I'm just saying. So look, I think we'll work out with the Suns because they might draft us in the first round. And obviously the Lakers, because I think what's key to them, Nick, is just going somewhere where they're going to develop Bronny, where he can work with coaches all day on the things that can help him be a legitimate NBA player, not the things you might do in college. And so I think that's what they want. And if a team's not going to do that or guaranteeing you, look, we really want Bronny and we want to develop him, then they're not going to waste their time.
And so the Phoenix thing is would be the real life application of the thought exercise we did on this show a year ago when Bronny was kind of moving up draft boards pre-cardiac arrest, actually, which is almost forgotten in some of the Bronny conversation, is that he was played well in the camps, did all these things, then had the cardiac arrest, and I think at least that's a factor of a disappointing season at USC. The question that I posited, before all that was, if drafting Bronny guaranteed you got LeBron James on a minimum deal, what pick is he worth? And you know what I mean? We talked about it a lot. And the answer to that is way more than the 22nd. There is no question in my mind that there is the Oklahoma City that has, picks better than the 22nd. If it's like, hey, this trade exists, we will trade you, the Los Angeles Lakers, the 12th pick of the draft, for LeBron James on a minimum contract. That would be a good trade for Oklahoma City. Yeah. And so, sight unseen, that's a good trade. I don't care that he's 4 years old in year 22. That would make them better, and it would be a smart move for a lot of teams. The fact that the Suns seem to think that's a possibility, that you could essentially be doing that and have, in addition to that, this prospect who is not, with respect to Bronny, worth the 22nd pick of the draft on his own, but is a draftable player on his own, is a very unique spot to be in. I agree with Brew that I feel like the floor for Bronny is the Lakers at 55. But the ceiling is higher than that. And I think some of that is because of what he did at the Combine, which was, on its own merits, one of the more impressive performances, and obviously because of the added lottery ticket of, does this get us the best contract in NBA history?
Jeez.
An NBA, an all NBA caliber guy, for 1 year at the league minimum. So it is a unique spot. And I know people don't like that, LeBron leveraging this potentially. I think staying silent is a fair way to go about it. Is like
that's how he's always
done these things. And it's like, if you want to hire a coach based on what you think I want, so be it. But my fingerprints are not going to be on it.
Right.
If you want to fire a coach, my fingerprints are not going to be on it. If you want to draft and use one of your only remaining draft assets on Bronny James, who I know LeBron believes one day will be a good NBA player, we'll see. more power to you, but my fingerprints aren't going to be on it. And so I find the whole thing super fascinating and wildly unprecedented.
Changed my mind on that. Both of you guys. Now I think LeBron to the Suns. What dream has he had that he hasn't accomplished?
He could do, first of all, it's close enough to the family where you're not that far away. And it's a great team with LeBron solving their fourth quarter issues as far as decision making. You playing with your son? I mean,
I believe it now.
I don't hate it.
I came in thinking, no way. Breaking out the old NBA fast break, firing up the trade machine / free agent signing machine that I just invented, inspired by a Chris Herring article titled Deals That Need to Happen. First up, LeBron opts out and signs with Philly to basically replace Tobias Harris. Brew, do you like that one?
Remember, he can get the max from Philly. It doesn't have to take a minimum like we were talking about Phoenix. I don't think it'll happen, but if I'm Philly, if I'm Daryl Morey, I am pulling out all the stops to recruit LeBron to Philadelphia.
Like drafting Bronny?
Well, yes, whatever it would take. Like, he would be above Paul George and Jimmy Butler on my list because I'm not operating like Joel Embiid is 30, which is what he is. I'm operating like he's 36 because physically that's how it feels. I don't know how long this guy's going to be healthy. Also, Nick, he could teach Embiid about winning, about taking better care of your body. I'm not saying he's terrible at that, but clearly he's got health issues. And he could teach Tyrese Maxey about being more professional. And again, I think he's professional, but he's young. Yeah. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. You can learn that from LeBron. So not only could it pay dividends immediately, but also in the future with those two players.
Yeah, so you mentioned Bronny. Like this, this is the spot I've been hoping LeBron goes to. This is where I wanted him to go when he signed with the Lakers. This is where because I think it makes sense. There's a lot of, I think, good benefits to being in Philadelphia. I also think it's a sneaky, cool NBA history as far as iconic players, but not nearly as much winning as a team, you know what I mean, of that history should have expected. But Iverson's an icon. Dr. J and Moses are two of the greatest players ever. Wilt played there. I think.
Shout out to Charles Barkley.
My apologies. Barkley's a legend as well. I didn't mean to leave him out. If it was reported that Bronny is working out with Philly, then my antennae really would be up. I think this makes the most sense. I think this is, of all the teams, the best chance he has to win a championship, and they can pay him. But it seems like everyone that knows is saying the same thing, that he's not going to Philadelphia.
Really, it's antennas there?
It's antennae.
Josh.
AE, 100%. You're going to be dead wrong on two facts.
Josh gave me the thumbs down on that one. Next up, Thunder and Klay. Okay.
Thanks, Josh. Josh didn't even check. You know what Josh checked? 6th grade grammar. That's what he checked somewhere in his brain.
90% of the times when I ask Josh a question, I just make up the answer. OKC got #1 seed and some playoff experience, Brew, but the Mavs defense crushed the Thunder when Josh Giddey was playing because he can't shoot. So Chris Herring suggested Klay to Oklahoma City. Do you like that one?
Well, look, they're a great three-point shooting team, despite Giddey not being able to shoot. If you replace Giddey with Klay, obviously that makes you even better. I don't hate it. You know what I like better? Kevin Durant. Trading some of their picks. Phoenix needs some. I'm saying, trading some of their picks. And there are other places. This is fine for Klay. I like Klay in a lot of spots, depending on the money. But the Lakers, I could like him there.
I like him in Orlando, which has the money, and I know nobody cares about the Magic. Sorry, Orlando fans, but he fits a huge need for them.
Denver?
There's a lot of Klay Thompson is a great fit in so many places because I understand he's dealt with some stuff, but he's typically got a great disposition. You know what I mean? He is a champion, and he is being judged against his pre-injury self is one thing. Being judged against the NBA, he's still, a highly useful player and can be a specialist. I think, yes, I agree. I like Kevin Durant there more, but I don't think that is. I don't think
some of those picks.
I think it would be.
Phoenix would go for it.
Right. To be clear, if I were running the Suns, I would be trying to. I would admit we are not going to win. We need to all of a sudden recoup some of our, capital that we have thrown out, and so I would do all those things. I don't think they're going to do that. I love Durant and OKC. It'd be a great story. But Klay would be awesome there. I think if the Thunder were to draft Zach Edey and sign Klay Thompson, you fix a couple issues. You know what I mean? Zach Edey, as far as just having a legitimate, you know what I mean, physical and just big presence, fix some of the rebounding stuff. Klay taking Giddey's minutes, because now that SGA and Jalen Williams have both continued to evolve as a player, you don't need Giddey's playmaking as much. There's a lot and Klay is not the defensive player he once was. OKC's an excellent defensive team already, so they can fill in some of those blanks. I love this fit. I think Orlando's a great fit, too, because they need shooting and they have defense. But
I know you're going to laugh and say it's a joke. I don't think Klay is going to a landlocked city.
I'm not. Can I tell you something?
He's not going to be like, I got to wrap my boat up. Stinks. He's got a captain's hat and everything. He's not doing it.
There's some great lakes in Minnesota.
I know that.
Minnesota.
No puns.
I'm sorry.
There's no puns on the show.
No, I mean in Oklahoma. I misspoke. I don't know why I was thinking Minnesota.
They're not the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Finally, and this one has been out there, Trey to L.A. Atlanta has the #1 pick, so it's probably rebuild time, bro. This would have to be a trade, not a free agent signing. Do you like Trey alongside AD and LeBron?
I actually do. Look, I'd love to get DeJounte Murray. I don't think they could get him. He's a great defender. But Trey, to me, it would be like D'Angelo Russell, who during the regular season was great for them, right? But it would be D'Angelo without the playoff fall. All right, D'Angelo's not good in the playoffs. That's just right. If he was the guy in the playoffs that he's been in the regular season, it might be different for them. So Trey, we saw him at Madison Square Garden. I know I'm not saying he's been great all the time in the playoffs, but the moment the stage is not too big for him. So now you got a guy that can play in the playoffs with LeBron and AD. I think LeBron could help raise Trey's basketball IQ. I think Trey would respect LeBron. Everybody's talking, volume shooter. I don't think he'd be that with LeBron and AD. I think he would play much smarter basketball. And again, like I said with Philly, in the future, Trey becoming a smarter player, AD still young, that would bode well for the Lakers going forward.
So with the resources you would have to give up to get Trae Young if you're the Lakers, I just think there are better options. I think that Lauri Markkanen would be a better option for the Lakers than Trae Young. I think that you can make the argument, I would make the argument, Darius Garland would be a better option. And Garland, it seems like that Cleveland is saying, or the reports out of there are, hey, just so you know, if you're going to re-sign Donovan Mitchell, I'm out of here. Which is a weird spot. So I'm not trying to act like Trae Young is, there's no use or utility. That's not what I'm saying. But for the draft picks and player capital it would cost to acquire, I just think there's better fits that aren't as sexy of names. Trae Young is a way bigger star than Lauri Markkanen by far, and a significantly bigger star than Garland. I don't think he's a significantly better player than either, and I certainly don't think he's a better fit than either one of those guys. The Lakers' history tells us ties go to names, and ties go to, star power versus natural fit. This is not one that I love.
Okay. NFL tiers next. We've got a great half hour coming up.
Yeah, we do.
It was already a great 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.